Spark sunglasses turn the world to gold. Fashion so bold, never getting old. Shades so sleek, they light up the night. Retro luxury, looking just right. Spark sunglasses catch the spark and glow. Wear with flair, let your confidence show.
So welcome to our industry guest panel discussion. We didn't want to do a lecture because obviously a lecture always means it's one-to-one, isn't it? And it almost seems as though it's like what I do every week in front here, another lecture. So I thought, why not invite two very nice people to come and join me, and we're going to do a panel discussion. So I'm hoping that it's going to be more interactive, and you get to ask a lot of the questions that you have that maybe draw on to their expertise and experience as well through this sharing session. So we are very lucky because we have with us not one but two female entrepreneurs who have actually ventured into different sectors. So we are looking at it also from different perspectives. And each of them would bring very unique perspective in terms of how they took their first steps into starting the business and how they are building the brand on their own, and also what's the future direction, what they hope, what they envision for their brands. So I'll begin with a very brief introduction of our speakers and then followed by sort of like a Q&A discussion. And then we'll open up to the floor for questions. So please be thinking very critically. Anything as they are sharing, jot down if you've got any questions that you might want to ask and follow up later. So we have with me on my left-hand side, Kaisha. So Kaisha Thomas is the founder of Kaisha Online and Sparks Sunglasses. So she's a passionate female entrepreneur. She champions creativity, innovation, and empowering others through her brands. She's dedicated to producing inspirational publications and stylish eyewear. So Kaisha's vision drives her success, inspiring communities with bold, fashionable products and dynamic business leadership. So we're going to start now. Can you both tell us, either one of you can start first. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and what inspired you to start this business.
Do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Go
So I was 14 years old in high school and I was literally in love with sunglasses. I just took them off, but I used to always wear them around my high school on my forehead, no matter what the season was. And I started building my own personal collection. And then once I finished my A-levels, I moved to Florida, and Florida is known as the Sunshine State of the United States. And so I wrote on my BlackBerry smartphone, I don't know if any of you remember that phone, but my BlackBerry smartphone, Spark Sunglasses line. And it was because I was in the perfect place for wearing sunglasses. And I had, like I said, this love for sunglasses when I was a teenager. And I decided that I wanted to have a brand. I was 19 then, so it wasn't actually possible because I didn't have all the funding to actually build this brand then. But I knew that I wanted to do it. So I wrote it down and I kept reminding myself about it throughout, I can say, the next 10 years, because I did then launch in 2009 when I was 29. But it came from something that I enjoyed and that I loved to wear, and it was a part of my self-expression. More so fashion then than it was eye care, because I wasn't actually wearing them on my face, but it was something that I loved. Yeah, I just put them up on my head, all the time. And so, so that's what I call my origin story, because that's literally where it started, as a 14-year-old walking around my high school.
So I wonder, 14-year-old, what were you thinking about? Were you already envisioning about what kind of business you're going to have?
I never noticed that you wear them on your head quite a lot, and you do.
Always, yeah. I wear them on my face now. I know the importance of them, but then they was always on my forehead, and then now when I come in the building, I always just put them up. It's just so natural.
So just like a fashion piece now.
And they're beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
And what would you say, Kaisha, the background to your name and how that came about?
So,
what's the story behind Sparks?
So there's a Bible scripture that says that it takes one spark to burn an entire forest. And when I realized how powerful that one spark is, I immediately said, it has to be Spark sunglasses. So in my BlackBerry, I wrote Spark sunglasses line, and even though it was 10 years, I didn't forget that that's what I wanted to call it. It was almost as if it was embedded, it was meant to be. And so that's what I went with. And now I even just call it Sparks a lot. People just say, oh, I want a pair of Sparks. They don't even say Spark sunglasses. So it's just that one spark. And then I also only have one sterling silver S on the side of the sunglasses, so on the temple arm, because it's just that one spark, it's just one S. Even though when you put it all together, there's like almost 6 S's in the whole name.
Yeah.
But I still look at it as one spark. And so, yeah, it just stuck with me.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's really
There's a lot of thoughts being put, into the name itself, and that create that logo and that branding and the product design itself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My jewellery designer said that it would be odd to have only one S on the sunglasses, but I said no, that's what I want. So on the left-hand side is where the sterling silver is embossed onto the temple.
So in terms of growth, how have you seen your business from when you started or when it was launched? You said it was 2019.
2019, yeah. So I just released a new collection on September 21st, and we now have, thank you, we now have mini sparks. So
Mini Sparks.
children are wearing smart sunglasses, and it's so exciting. It's been a part of the dream for a while, but things don't happen overnight. So it took 6.5 years, but I'm so happy because I don't want children to see adults wearing sunglasses and not know that they should too. It should be a part of their upbringing to know how to love and protect their eyes. And so now, like I said, children are wearing sunglasses, and it just needs to continue to grow and reach children internationally now. So, like I said, it was just released 3 weeks ago, and yeah, I've got children.
Do you do all the designs yourself in terms of that, the sunglasses?
Yes, so I work with a manufacturer in the Netherlands, and then, like I said, the jewellery designer, she's based in London, and yeah, I just come together with those two and create the pairs.
So I know that it's quite easy in a sense that if you talk about large organizations, usually budgets and resources are a little bit sort of stretchable. You can work within the budget, but being small entrepreneurs, definitely budget is one of the major concerns when you start off your business, when you build the brand. There are a lot of things that you want to venture into and you want to do, but then there's this constraint, isn't it? So how do you deal with it? Maybe Kaisha first.
So I initially saved all of the money that I needed to buy my first stock, and that just came from my salary. So I knew that I would have loads of expenses, advertising, things to do for photo shoots and things like that. But initially, I saved my own money and made it happen. And I don't ask anyone for any money, not even my parents. So I literally do it all myself. But now, as the brand has grown, the expenses are much bigger. The website fees, the customized email fees, photographers, makeup artists, buying all the clothes for the photo shoots, everything costs something. There's literally nothing that you do in business that is free. Even if you are using your mobile phone, you've got to pay for your Wi-Fi and your, all of those things. So I just, throughout the year, I consider how much things will cost. I do 2 collections a year, and so I consider how much those things are going to cost, how much it takes to make the silver, the S's and things like that. So I try to be very wise and prioritize what makes the brand excel. Otherwise, I could be wasting money. So I really do sit down and think about everything that I'm spending. And I do my tax return, and so I know every penny that I spend. And when I have to pay my taxes, I know that it's because I've made money, I've spent money, and made profit as well.
It's good to know. That's good news. What about you, Faye? How do you manage it?
We're so similar in some respects, but we're so different. I was like, oh, I've got receipts in that cupboard and that could, yeah. It's a bit more haphazard, really.
What about you, Kaisha? What would you say along your journey would be the biggest challenge for your business?
I think the biggest is that I wear all of the hats. and
The sunglasses.
And the sunglasses.
and the
all of the
sunglasses. Yeah, so initially, because of COVID, I wasn't able to have a photographer and work with people because we were basically in our houses. So I started just doing everything myself. And then when we started to open up, I still stuck with doing it all myself, because now you have to interview people and work out if people have your best interest and do things to the standard that you want it to be done. And so I continued to just do it all. But in 2023, I got a photographer who I use twice a year. I've got a makeup artist who I use all the time as well. I've got models that I know I can work with. I always bring maybe one or two new ones into each collection, but I pretty much now have people that I know I can depend on when I've got a new collection coming. But behind the scenes, I still do everything. So I do wish that I had a PA so that I could delegate some tasks and don't feel overwhelmed sometimes. But I do think that is
Are you hiring a PA now? Sort of like
It's a call out.
recruitment going on.
I am looking at potentially having someone to come alongside me to do some things, just so that I can focus on other things. But also, I work for NTU, so I've got a 9 to 5, which means that the time that I spend on my business is very limited in the morning and the evening, and then pretty much all weekend. So
It's 2 full-time jobs.
2 full-time jobs. Yeah.
Not easy building a dream, isn't it?
No, it's
So
not.
why haven't you sort of like think about letting go one and sort of focus on the other? Is it coming soon?
So, a lot of people have said it is coming soon, which is really funny because they tell me you have to slow down, you have to slow down. And I do want to slow down when I become a mum, which is why I am working hard now, so that when that time does come, I can just focus more so on being a parent and, have run my business. But I think now I'm just so focused on growing it and having financial stability at the same time that I'm managing. But yeah, I think a PA will definitely help. Yeah. Or someone to just run to the post office for me or something like that. So yeah, I do want to get some support.
I think that support is really important, because then it gives you time and focus to think more about the visions and the long-term directions. So
Yeah.
making sort of like, decisions based on that rather than on the daily routine things that you need to look into as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of marketing, let's talk marketing, because we know marketing is really important to drive a business. I know Faye's looking at me and thinking like, oh no, yours is ethical marketing then. So what are the platforms that you use and which you think are effective so far for your business, which has been, showing, results for you so far? Are you on TikTok, Kaisha? Is Sparks on TikTok?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
has it worked well so far, or other platforms are doing better?
So TikTok is great. I'm not as consistent on TikTok as Instagram or YouTube, but I do use all platforms. I do email marketing. I literally film everything, which I am doing now, because I do documentaries when I release a new collection. So I document everything I do, opening the boxes and doing all these things, and I put that into a documentary so you can see the journey of me producing this collection and releasing it. But then each year on the anniversary, so May 19th, I'll do a video of the past year and all the experiences, things like this that I do to share the brand and be an inspiration, and I put that out. So I always try to use my experiences to help others, because I don't want to gatekeep. If I know something or have experienced something, I think that it could be of use to someone else. So I use YouTube a lot, like I said, emails, texts. I WhatsApp people about new collections and things, or sales that I have going on. I do face-to-face as well, because I feel like that's really important. So I've started doing pop-ups and being in person. I've done mail-outs as well, and put a pen in an envelope with a postcard and a discount. What else?
So have they all been so far, which ones are
So-
the most effective, you think?
I'd say email and Instagram is the most effective.
Right.
Doing text and SMS and WhatsApp has been really great too, because that literally pushes a lot of traffic to the website. Because these people know me, I've got their phone numbers. But I definitely say Instagram and emails has been the most beneficial.
I think one of the questions that maybe some of the students might have is that when whatever that we studied, obviously we have asked you to do like SWOT analysis, pastel analysis, all kinds of this kind of theoretical models and tools. Honestly, have you used any of them?
In my hand.
Or any form of strategic planning, sort of like you plan, like you said, you know that every year you're going to do 2 launches. That's some form of strategic planning, isn't it?
Yes.
That goes on.
I do strategic planning, especially this quarter, because we have Black Friday that comes up at the end of November, Christmas, New Year, and so I do put an awful lot of effort into this last period, and that's one of the reasons why one of the collections is launched at the end of September, so that it can remain the full price until I start to promote for Black Friday, because I do know that people are shopping an awful lot more and they're looking for bargains at this time of the year to prepare for Christmas and things like that. So that is one of my strategies, and even now I'm starting to create content and to start doing promo and to start scheduling emails so that I have a lot of that work done before November and December comes. So I had a photo shoot with a little girl on Saturday, and one of her outfits is so that I can use that content to promote in November, December. So I am thinking about months
Yeah.
ahead, because when the time comes, you can't be in a flurry, because other companies are promoting for Christmas and things like now. So you have to start as a small company, because if you're the only person like me, then it does get overwhelming.
Yeah, so having sort of like that scheduling, isn't it, of what's coming next and what kind of products that you want to have, what kind of
Yes.
ads that you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we'll hear from the students, because we are about another 15 minutes or less to go. Questions from the students, any of you? Anything of your interest that you'd like to find out from our 2 speakers? Yes, George.
I've got one. So obviously you're talking about fair, you're talking about different countries operating. Is there any other particular countries that you're interested in? Say UK issues, any other countries that you want to operate in, like selling sunglasses in? Or you operate internationally already?
So yes, I am worldwide. However, I don't have a location in the UK, but I would like to have a location in the UK at some point, but also in Florida, since, like I said, that's where I wrote it down. That's where I did some initial photo shoots. That's where I was when I launched in 2019. So it would be nice to have London, because I was born and raised there. That's where my passion started. But then also Florida, where the sunshine state of the United States, but also where the seed started to blossom after, it was originally planted in London. So those 2 locations would be great, and I can't foresee when, but it is definitely on my list of things to do.
Yes, Chandler.
Alicia, do you have any plans to start selling in like Specsavers or Vision Expert?
Specsavers.
So not at the moment. However, I have partnered with Lensology. Okay, so you wear your prescription glasses.
Yeah, my Specsavers.
Yeah. So I have partnered with Lensology, who is a reglazing expert down in Watford. They are able to put your prescription into smart sunglasses. So they have my stock in their office, but if there's a pair that they don't have yet, because I have just released a new collection, I can send them to them and they can put your prescription in there. So at the moment, I'm not looking to branch out into Specsavers or Vision Express or anything like that, or even Boots, but I have made it so that customers who need to have prescription don't miss out on having their sunglasses with their prescription in there.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
As entrepreneurs, I assume you have to take risks. So, what's one risk that paid off, and what's one risk you took that didn't pay off?
Ooh, interesting question.
That's a great question.
You're taking them back into the memory. I think that's a very good question, because part of being an entrepreneur is about taking risks, isn't it? And being daring enough to take risks. And many people have a lot of ideas about starting the business, but may not actually take that action because they're not a risk taker, isn't it? And
Yeah.
both of you have defied that in some ways. You have taken the first step and you have moved ahead and sort of like navigating between those risks. And maybe you've got alternative backup plans.
So I was 19 when I set up my first business. I was a party planner, and I was inspired by my first job, which was an internal children's theme park type thing, but like 10-foot slides and all these sort of things. And each year I saw the children come back for their birthday parties, and I thought they need something different. So I set up a party planning business, and one of my cousins said, what have you done? Why are you doing that? And I said, I want to do something different. And doing something different when I was 19 meant that I kept that mentality when setting up this business, because I realized that not everyone wants to wear the same thing or look the same all the time. There are people that are so out of the box in terms of their fashion, so why should they wear the same thing as their friend or the same thing as their brother, you know? So having the brand now and having it be so unique with one S on it, whereas let's say Louis, Gucci and Prada, they have their logos on both sides, or actually having sterling silver on the sunglasses. I took that risk and it has paid off because people like that uniqueness. Like I said, it's not easy, it's not cheap to have sterling silver made, but I took that risk and it has paid off. Now when someone's wearing the sunglasses with the S on the side, people recognize it, and so I think taking the risk does pay off, and you have to believe in it.
And if it doesn't, then most it becomes a lesson, isn't it?
Then
It
you've
becomes
learned.
an experience
Yeah.
that you learn from it. Absolutely. So it seems that we are running out of time because we do have another class waiting outside, which is very common. So any questions on follow-up, I will be sending out the QR code and the link for feedback. So I'd appreciate those of you who attended today actually fill up the feedback, let us know what you think, what are the key insights that you found out, if you've got any follow-up questions. All the materials that I've put in the lecture slides, they are actually linked to the websites. Yeah. So any ways of contacting both of you, or you want to
Yeah.
leave them? Any LinkedIn?
Got some business cards if
Business
you're
cards.
interested.
I've got business cards and I'm
So
happy to
please
answer
give them
any
a hand.
questions.
Spark sunglasses turn the world to gold. Fashion so bold, never getting old.